Hello my dear sewing friends, it's Alisa here. I'm really happy to see you, and today in our serger only video we're going to be making a really quick and easy project. You can make it for yourself, you can make it as a gift. It's these cute little headbands. As any other sewing project, let's start with the fabric. Here the main criteria is that this fabric needs to have a significant amount of stretch and then be able to bounce back. Definitely take a look in your fabric scrap box to see what you have there, but I would say that a no-fail option would be cotton spandex or cotton lycra mix, the same mix that we used to make socks and undies in the same series. You can use the same measurements as I will be using for a headband for myself and then for my daughter, but do remember that they may vary depending on your own head circumference and on the stretchiness of your fabric. For that, take a measuring tape and measure your full head circumference. Then decrease it a little bit to account for the stretchiness of the fabric. So for example, my full head circumference is 23 inches. I'm going to take that and decrease it by about 3 inches or so. So the total length of one of my strips is going to be about 20.5 inches. Now, if you're just not sure, that's totally fine. Start with your full head circumference first, and then at the very last step, you can decrease by the necessary amount after you try it on your head. The width of my strips are going to be 4.5 inches, and that's just how wide it is from one brown strip to the other brown strip. For you, it can be 5 inches, it can be 4 inches, it can be more or less. Definitely play around. Don't stress about that measurement too much. For each headband, we're going to cut 2 strips. Each one will be cut in the direction of the greatest stretch. The first step is to bring the long edge right sides together, align it, you can pin it if that helps, and then serge it. Here at the serger, I'm using just a basic 4-thread technique, the simplest of the techniques that you would use for just a regular construction of any other thing that you would do on a serger. Once you have one of these done, we're going to repeat all of the same steps on the second one. After that, turn these right side out. Even if you're tempted, don't skip this next step. Position the seam so that way it's sort of in the middle of the strip, and then give it a good press. Please remember to check the settings on your iron and the fiber content of your fabric, and if the two of those are compatible. Now we have to link these together. So with the seam up, I'm going to bring the short ends together. So now the seam is on the inside, and I'm going to do the same on the other one. Then I'm going to bring the looped sides, so the fold sides, one next to another, and bring one through, placing it back the way it should be. So this is what we're going to get. Here's another look at it with 2 different colors, so perhaps you can see a little bit better. The seam is on the inside. These are folded. I'm going to grab the blue one, bring it through. The seam still should stay on the inside, and then I'm bringing the short ends. Ta-da! This is what we want. The last step is to bring these ends together and sew them. I will once again demonstrate it on this colorful example so you can see better. So once you have your ends like this, bring them over. Now, on whichever side, it doesn't really matter. Let's take the pink one. Take this part, flip it with the seam out, and bring it over to the other side of the sandwich, like this. So we have pink on both sides and then blue in the middle. For the pink, the seam is facing to the outside. Now at the serger, we're going to sandwich it all together. If needed, this is the step where you would perhaps pin this all together with a safety pin first, then try it on your head, and if needed, decrease equally from each side so that way it fits just perfectly. When done, I'm going to use a latch hook to hide these serger tails inside of the seam. Next, simply unfold these so that way the seams are all facing to the inside, and that's it. Your headband is done. Well, there you have it. If you want to see more projects that are completed entirely on your serger, then click right over here. I have an entire series specifically for that subject. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, happy sewing, happy serging. I'll see you soon. Bye!